Hi, and welcome to GCTV. I'm Will Gardner. Joining us in the studio today is Crime Prevention Officer Patrick Daley. Welcome, Officer Daley.
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So first of all, now you're a crime prevention officer. So what exactly does a crime prevention officer do?
Crime prevention officers are officers chosen or put into a position for to go out and give safety talks and do things like that at the schools, civic groups, churches, and interact with the community. We do a lot with community policing. We work out of the Community Policing Bureau, and it's kind of a public relations position also. We do security checks at houses and businesses, so a lot of that is stuff that will help you later on in life.
Oh, okay. So the way it sounds to me is you guys are kind of in the, I don't want to say like the middleman, but you're in between like the patrol
officer and community policing. Yeah, we're kind of in between. We do, we can do patrol work. We can go out and take reports when needed and work with that, or we can do, community work. We don't have a set schedule where we're on patrol answering calls all day.
Yeah.
So we can go out and schedule, talk at a school and be able to do that.
Yeah.
So
where you can come places like here and
absolutely,
talk to us.
absolutely.
So we're getting pretty close to the holidays. What are some things that people around here or just anywhere could do to stay safe?
Well, staying safe is something that we've all learned since we've been in kindergarten.
Yeah.
The first thing we learn is stay away from strangers. And so it's all ingrained in our brain anyway. It's just this time of year, we have to kind of give you a booster shot, something to say, hey, remember this stuff.
Yeah.
And so some of the things you can do when you're going out is just remember to lock your door on your car. That's one of the biggest things we have problems with right now is people just leaving the cars unlocked and valuables inside the cars.
Oh, yeah.
So, with the shopping season coming up and you've got all these packages, make sure you put them in the trunk or hide them away or take them home, whatever you need to do. Just being aware of your surroundings, what's going on when you're walking from one point to maybe to a store.
Yeah.
Just be aware, keep your head up, chin up, looking around. Nobody likes to be described or seen, so
yeah.
Bad guys like to hide, and do that kind of stuff.
Don't give them a chance to take advantage of.
Absolutely, and always strengthen numbers. If you can go with two or three people, absolutely go with more than one person.
Yeah. Now with the locking cars thing, I always have to get after my mom about this because she'll leave like her iPod or something in there.
Yeah.
Even at home, like we had a couple like break-ins down the road from us. I'm like, you need to go lock your car, and she's like, oh no, it'll be fine.
Yep.
And it's just I have to keep on about it.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things we see with car break-ins is people when they park in their home in their driveway, I'm safe now. Nobody can break into my car at my home. And that's where most of the break-ins take place. They leave their cars unlocked, all their valuables in the car, and people just walk by at night, 2 or 3 in the morning, open the car door and take the stuff out. And so we see a lot of that, people at home leaving their cars unlocked.
It's a really scary thought because sometimes you see footage of people that have security cameras like right outside their door in their garage, and some people may not necessarily get into the cars. They just walk up and they just check out the place.
Yep, absolutely.
Like, fortunately, I've never had to deal with that, but I couldn't imagine living somewhere that is an active problem all the time.
Cameras are great to have, but just remember that's a tool that we're going to use after the crime has been committed. I mean, sometimes it's a great deterrent, but to career criminals, they're like, most people, they won't go out and buy great camera systems, so, nighttime it's just a blur. And we get these little blobs of someone breaking into a car and you can't really identify them.
You won't be able to tell who they are,
So
in addition to staying safe, like you're saying be aware of your surroundings. Now, if like maybe you're outside walking by yourself, or if, around here on the college campus, if you're here at night, what are some things that you would need to look, like maybe someone should look out for? Just to...
Not so much look out, just make sure that, if you're traveling from your classroom to your car, make sure you have your keys ready. Especially if it's, don't unlock the car too early, that kind of thing. If you're parked near dark areas, you're going to have to look out a little bit more. So anticipate before you go, I'm going to be coming out into the dark, so I'm going to park underneath a light. So park where there's a lot of light. And there's lots of different, should I carry a gun? Should I carry pepper spray? Should I put a key between my fingers? And
I do the key between my fingers.
Yes,
I've
don't
always
do
done
that. Don't do that. I'm telling you, that's the worst thing you can do. People say, oh, well, I'm going to jab them in the eye with it. And it's like, it's a very small target, first of all, your eye. Number two, you're both adrenaline's pumping. You know how hard it is to hit a small target. Number
yeah.
3, you're going to be able to just maybe scratch them or cut them, and with their adrenaline pumping, you're just going to make them mad.
Yeah,
So
you're just going to make it worse.
don't do the key
Yeah.
between the fingers. Have your key, ready to open the
yeah.
door or unlock, but I definitely don't do that. Carrying a gun, you really got to be trained in carrying a gun. I mean, if you're going to decide to do one, go get training, and then you got to practice all the time.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
can't say, well, I got 3 hours of training. I've shot 14 rounds, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's not true. You're going to have to practice yearly on that. And, when it comes time, are you going to be able to do what you have to do with the gun? Because if you pull a trigger and shoot at somebody, you're more than likely going to kill them. And some people can't handle that after the fact. Pepper spray, I always recommend pepper spray. It's great. You can use it at a distance or up close, and it gives you enough time to get away from the person, and it's readily available. You can get pepper spray, at Walmart.
Just about anywhere, yeah.
It's good stuff. Just make sure it's oleoresin capsicum. It's the stuff that's really hot.
Oh yeah, I think with what you were saying about the key thing, for me, it's almost like just a reassuring.
Right.
It gives me like a little bit more confidence or something. Because
Yeah.
when I used to attend UNC Charlotte, I always had to park in a parking deck that was a good 10-minute walk from my dorm.
Right.
So I would get up there and I'm just like looking around, and I'd have my key in my hand like that. It made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I always did a thing like I would only unlock it when I got there.
Yeah.
And I would only unlock my driver's side door.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good safety points. And whatever makes you feel confidence, because confidence is one of the big things that boosts, as you're walking. You want to be confident. You don't want to be the guy with your head down walking, not looking at anything, because that's a target.
Yeah. Give them something that makes them kind of
Yeah.
second guess, like, should I attack
Yeah,
that
this
guy?
guy
Yeah.
knows what he's doing, or
Yeah.
this guy's pretty confident. He may know something that I don't
Yeah.
know. Because nowadays people are trained in mixed martial arts and all kinds
yeah.
of stuff like that. And that's one more thing for ladies who want to go out and take a 4-hour self-defense course. I mean, that kind of stuff you got to repeat constantly.
Over
There
and
are
over,
good
yeah.
moves that you can learn to get away from somebody, but as far as doing a double backflip kick and knocking them out, you're not going to learn that at a 4-hour self-defense class, and that takes years
Yeah.
to practice. So I would recommend going and taking an actual martial arts class that you can take over years to build up your muscle memory and
Yeah.
skills.
That way you have the knowledge if you need it.
Yep,
If
absolutely.
the situation ever comes around. So what would you say the biggest kind of crime that actually takes place in this area?
I would say, I know for the East District of Gastonia, we have a lot of car break-ins.
Yeah.
Our biggest thing is the car break-ins. You might think, oh, there's a lot of drug activity all over the place, but car break-ins are the biggest thing that we see, and then after that, just shoplifting, that kind of stuff, especially on the East End where all the businesses are. There's a lot of shoplifting, but our biggest thing is the car break-ins, and I do what we call a weekly report every Monday for our district, and it's amazing how many people leave their cars unlocked.
Yeah.
I'm reading and I'm writing and I'm like, unlocked.
Oh, man.
Wow, come on, people. But not only are they leaving it unlocked, they're leaving valuable stuff inside
Yeah.
the car. Some people say, I don't want my windows broken, so I leave it unlocked. Great, but don't leave your valuable computer or your guns
Yeah.
or whatever inside the car. So that's the biggest one we see.
Okay. So what would you say for over the holidays, in addition to break-ins and everything, what would be the best way to protect our homes?
The biggest way is just keep doing what you're doing as far as locking your doors,
Yeah.
lighting, that kind of stuff. If you're going away for the holidays, if you're leaving somewhere, make sure that you leave a timer on in your house for lights, that someone's checking your house, and that someone's picking up your mail.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. We have a lot of people who have windows in the front doors, and the biggest problem we have with that is people can break the windows, reach around. If you have what they call a single cylinder deadbolt with just a latch on the back,
Yeah.
they can just reach around, unlock it, and walk in. We had several break-ins like that, and so we recommend to those people they get what they call a double cylinder, which is keys on each side.
Oh.
So if they break and they reach around, there's no key there.
There's-
Hopefully that you
yeah.
left the key out and they can't open that door that way. So we had we had several people doing that.
I actually don't think I've ever seen a dead bullock like that.
A double cylinder?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've never actually seen one.
Yeah.
But we actually our house is like actually two different houses kind of built on top of each other. Not like the apartments and whatnot. This is like the exact same floor plan attached to each other. And on my grandma's side of the house, we actually have a timer on the big lamp and the light in her little sun box or whatever you want to call it. And that goes off around 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So even because their side of the house is the front of the house.
Yeah.
So that way nobody thinks there's no one there, and I always park out front anyways. Yeah.
Great to have timers and stuff like that. So we do recommend that. And the police department has a program where we do special checks on houses if we're not busy running calls. So if you do go on a 2-week vacation or week-long vacation, you can call up to the police department and ask for a special check on your house, and an officer will come by and visually inspect the house, make sure there's no broken windows.
Oh, wow.
And nobody has broken into that, if there's time.
Yeah.
During their shift. A lot of times we're running calls, so we don't have a whole lot. But that's something the police department does offer.
That's actually that's really cool. That's another thing I was unaware of.
Yeah.
Now I know. I might have to see about doing that sometime.
Alarm systems, always great to have.
Oh, yeah.
We do answer a lot of alarms, and if you can't afford an alarm, you can get you a dog. Or you can get you, if you can't afford a dog and you want to hold it or have the monetary problems of keeping up a dog, you can just go get a beware of dog sign and put it in your front yard.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea too.
Or just get an alarm sign and put it in your front yard, even if you don't have an alarm. It's something to deter the bad guys.
Yeah, because then with the beware of dog sign, most of the time if someone broke in, the dog will be barking like crazy, but they don't know where it's at then. So they're like, is there going to be some like massive German Shepherd or something coming around the corner to meet me?
And interesting story, the Tibetan monks use Shih Tzus, the little tiny furry dogs. They use those as guard dogs.
No way.
And people are like, they're not vicious. And it's like, no, but they put them out in the hallways at night in their monasteries, and those dogs bark at anything.
Yeah.
So if somebody makes any noise coming in, they start barking. That's a great alarm system.
Yeah, a bunch of little
And it's able
smaller
to wake them up.
dogs.
Yeah.
I know we've got a Chihuahua, and his bark is so if he has to be near you, but it can be so like ear-shatteringly loud sometimes that it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we've also got a lab hound mix, and when something goes wrong, she's all over it.
Yeah.
It's just instantly she goes to the window and looks out the door. It's amazing sometimes what they can hear. So, what are some you were talking about not only owning a gun but learning how to use it all the time. So, what would you say some safety tips for keeping firearms in the home?
Definitely if you have children, keep it unloaded or keep it in a safe somewhere, especially if you have young children, because children are very curious.
Yeah.
And today's, toy guns look like real guns. And so, kids just don't understand. Definitely, if you have children and you have a gun in the house, make them gun safety aware also. Tell them, hey, this is very dangerous. This can hurt you, can kill you. Do not touch it. If you see it, tell me immediately. But definitely gun safes or gun locks. If you don't have any children, it's in your house, make sure you know how to use it, first of all. Whenever you're pointing a gun, we always say that there's a laser on the end of it, and wherever you point it, it's going to cut it or hurt it or whatever. So never point, the gun at something. Always have it at the ground or in the air, if you're unloading. Always assume that a gun is loaded. It's always loaded, no matter what. If you just unloaded it, it's still loaded.
Yeah, because they could always have one in the
mentality.
chamber. Yeah,
it makes you just more aware and safe.
My dad has always told me those things, even with like, I don't actually own a gun myself, but even when I was into like airsoft and whatnot, he would always tell me that. He's like, I don't care if it's spring loaded and has a plastic BB, don't aim it at anybody, aim it at the ground.
Absolutely.
And drop the clip out of it or something. So I'm
safety
always like, okay, don't want to point at anybody.
Yeah, and at the range, the first thing rookies learn, is gun safety. We don't even get guns till we're, safe on everything, and it becomes, second nature.
Yeah.
That, we're unloading and checking, and if somebody hands you one, you're checking it, double checking it to make sure that it's unloaded. So they're very dangerous, and
Oh, yeah.
You've got to be really safe with them. But
It's something that, sometimes I'm sure that some people occasionally don't realize it, but it's maybe something that we take for granted, and then a tragedy occurs where somebody accidentally gets shot by one that someone thought was unloaded and it's not, and it just kind of makes you think. It's a scary thought. Yeah. Like anytime, like if my uncle loves guns, he'll bring a new one that he's bought over and show it to us, and I'll be like, I don't want to touch it. You guys can handle it. He keeps it in his car and in the box for it and locked up and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, good stuff. And if you're raised like that, around guns, and you're scared of a gun, that's why they say that women shooters are better shooters. They come in, they're afraid of the gun, and when somebody who knows how to teach them and teaches them the right way to handle and shoot a gun, they become better shooters and know how to handle the gun better. Guys come in and we're like, I know how to shoot a gun. I'm a man. You know? And we get in there and we're like, we do everything wrong. And so it's better to be open-minded and come in, saying, I'm going to learn exactly how to do this the right way.
Well, that's good. That's more things I'm unaware of. I'm learning a lot today. I'm really enjoying this.
Well, good.
So another big topic are crimes or anything related in schools or around schools. So what do you think we really need to worry about on like school campuses or anything like that? Crime-wise, I guess.
I'm going to tell you this. Gaston County schools have really gone out of their way to make their schools safer. I used to be a DARE officer several years ago, 10, 12 years ago, and back then going into the schools was a little bit easier than it is. Well, a lot easier now, It was just, walk in the front door, sign a piece of paper, and then you're done. They give you a sticker. Now, front doors are locked. You have to be buzzed in. There's a camera system that checks out who you are before you're buzzed in. Once you get in, the secretary meets you. You have to put your driver's license in a little machine to get a visitor sticker, enter all your information, and then you're given the visitor sticker.
Wow.
And so very nice, very great security system. But also the school system here in Gaston County got a grant for SROs in every school in the county. So elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools all have an SRO at their schools at some point throughout the day. Now, here in the city, there's one officer assigned to 2 elementary schools, so he or she splits this time 4 hours at one and 4 hours at the other. But the other school does have contact with them, so he can come back or she can come back to that school if something is needed. But as far as safety like that, that's gone, Gaston County's gone above and beyond what they need to do, for school safety. I think they've really done a great job over the past few years with everything that's been going on. Plus the training they're giving their teachers, on active shooter situations, and not only that, but fire drills. With the recent hurricane we had, drills on that, and they drill all the time. So it's good stuff. They've done good.
Well, I'm glad to have learned so much today. It's been a wonderful experience for me, and thank you for joining us, Officer Daley.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'm your host, Will Gardner, and thank you for watching GCTV. We'll see you next time.